Kentucky's Tea Party Senator Rand Paul has taken his attack on President Obama's intervention in Libya up a notch. He has introduced a resolution that he wants the Senate to vote on next week. It says, the president does not have the power to unilaterally authorize a military attack in a situation that does not involve an actual or imminent threat to the nation. Rand Paul sent a letter to the majority leader and the minority leader of the Senate asking for a vote on this next week. In his letter, he says, voting for whether or not to send our sons and daughters to war is the most important and most difficult decision we should ever make as a nation and as senators. We do not take this responsibility lightly. He was joined by Utah Tea Party Senator Mike Lee in co-signing this letter. In the final paragraph, they say, we feel strongly enough about this matter that we are writing to inform you of our intentions. Wow. They must feel really, really strongly about it. They're actually writing a letter about it. I guess that's a lot stronger action than what Rand Paul took on March 1st when he voted for Senate Resolution 85. Now, this is the same senator who says, voting for whether or not to send our sons and daughters to war is the most important and most difficult decision we should ever make as a nation and as senators. We do not take this responsibility lightly. Those are his words. But he took that responsibility lightly enough on March 1st that when Senate Resolution 85 came for a vote in the Senate, he didn't even leave his office to vote for it. He voted for it by remote control. He joined the Senate's unanimous consent to support the resolution backing a United Nations enforced no-fly zone over Libya. In fact, that Senate resolution calls for everything that President Obama has done in Libya, and it called for those actions before President Obama decided to do it. Rand Paul voted for that. He's voted for everything that the president has done in Libya. He's voted in support of it. And he voted for it in the form of a resolution introduced by liberal Democrats like Chuck Schumer, Ron Wyden, and self-proclaimed socialist Senator Bernie Sanders. That's right. Tea Party Senator Rand Paul voted with the only socialist senator to support what the president is doing in Libya before the president did anything in Libya. And now Rand Paul's staff is being instructed to lie about this. We were alerted to what his staff was doing by @KClarkUSA on Twitter. So we called Rand Paul's office to hear the lies his staff has been instructed to tell constituents. Here is that call in its entirety.
Good afternoon, Senator Paul's office.
Yes, I was calling about a vote by the senator. Someone was telling me that he voted for that Libya bill or resolution, and I was trying to find out what happened.
Well, it wasn't actually a vote. It was a hotline procedure, which means it's not legally binding. It wasn't voted on by Senator Paul.
So he didn't vote on it?
No, he did not vote on it.
So how does it?
It says it's a hotline procedure. It's a little bit confusing to explain, but it's a standard Senate procedure where they basically just do a resolution and ask, is there unanimous consent for this? And if no one objects, then it'll be it's done by email. It's not on the floor, and
put in 47 seconds before the end of the day.
It was put in 47 seconds before the end of the day. Does that make sense?
Kind of. So they got it, but they couldn't object, or what was the?
Well, you only had they didn't really have time to respond. It wasn't a vote, though.
So it can just pass like that?
Yeah, basically.
Huh.
It's really silly. It's like a loophole. It's basically just so they can make a statement about something, and then it ends up going into the record, and it'll show up as if everyone had voted for it. That's why it says unanimous consent, but it wasn't a vote.
Okay, can I get your name?
Kathy?
Kathy. Thank you so much, Kathy. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Bye.
Now, please don't hold any of this against Kathy. She's a young receptionist answering the phone who's constantly being told what to say about the senator's votes from senior staffers who know everything that the senator has been voting on. I don't believe Kathy is knowingly lying. I know Senate receptionists. I know how they have to do that job. I'm absolutely certain that the senior staff is lying to her. Kathy says Senator Paul did not vote on it. That is an absolute outright lie. Unanimous consent votes are, in fact, the most common vote cast in the United States Senate. The hotline procedure has been enforced for decades and strictly observed. Every senator is told about every bill or resolution that is being brought up for unanimous consent, every one of them. Every legislative director for every senator, all 100 of those legislative directors, the one who work for each senator, are emailed directly and called directly by their side of the aisle, by their leader on their side of the aisle, about unanimous consent votes. They can take as long as they want to make up their minds. But if you're Rand Paul and you're opposed to any American military intervention anywhere in the world, if it does not involve, quote, an actual or imminent threat to the nation, then exactly how many seconds do you need to say, no, I will not vote to urge the implementation of a United Nations no-fly zone over Libya that we participate in? How long would it take you to know that you're going to vote no on that kind of intervention if you're Rand Paul or Rand Paul's legislative director who got this message, and Rand Paul's chief of staff who got this message? That's all his legislative director had to do. That's all they had to do is say no. Just say the word no. We don't give our unanimous consent. When the Republican Senate leader's office called and asked for his unanimous consent on Senate Resolution 85, he did not say no. He voted to urge our sons and daughters into combat without leaving his office. And poor Kathy has been told a lie. That it was put in 47 seconds before the end of the day. That's not how they do unanimous consent requests. I worked in the Senate for 7 years. I know how they do them. Now let's listen to that part of the tape again. Let's listen to poor Kathy being coached by a lying senior staffer about how to lie to Kentucky voters when she's asked why Rand Paul voted for that resolution.
But it's a standard Senate procedure where they basically just do a resolution and ask, is there unanimous consent for this? And if no one objects, then it'll be it's done by email. It's not on the floor. And
Within 47 seconds for the end of the day.
it was put in 47 seconds before the end of the day. Does that make sense?
Most votes in the United States Senate are unanimous consent votes. Most bills that become law in the Senate are in fact passed by unanimous consent. Most nominations, the overwhelming majority of nominations that come to the Senate, are passed by unanimous consent without any debate. People are confirmed and they take their oath of office because a unanimous consent vote is a vote. It is an official recorded vote of the Senate. All freshman senators know that, even freshman senators who hate government and hate the processes of government as much as Rand Paul does. They all know it. Now, after making that tape, we called Senator Paul's staff to speak about this on the record. We left messages and emailed his press secretary and communications director on the record to ask them about these lies on the record. We wanted to speak to them on the record on this, and they know we do, and they did not respond. Senator Paul, this is your fault. They represent you. The lying has got to stop. Senator Paul, you know you voted for Senate Resolution 85, which calls for a no-fly zone over Libya. It calls for everything President Obama has done in Libya. You voted for it on March 1st. You must stop lying about it. You've taken an oath of office. Your lies violate that oath. Your staff has taken exactly the same oath of office that you did, word for word. I took that oath, word for word, when I went to work in the Senate. Those lies violate that oath. Senator Paul, you must immediately, for your honor, put a stop to this. For the honor of your state of Kentucky, you must put a stop to this. You must immediately tell the truth to the voters of Kentucky. Senator Paul, the responsibility here, to be honest about this, is entirely yours. You and your staff are committing an outrageous breach of Senate ethical conduct. Senator Paul, your receptionist, Kathy, who took our phone call today, did not go to work in the United States Senate because she always wanted to grow up and lie for a senator. Senator Paul, stop making Kathy lie.